Hey guys, what is up? Andy here, back at you with another video, and today we're going to be discussing something that's really important and something I'm quite passionate about, is which accounting system to use in South Africa. Also, which is the best in my opinion. So basically, when it comes to starting a business, it's very important to choose the right accounting system, because as you get along down the line, it's expensive to convert from one system to another system. So it's really important to make sure at the beginning phases that you're choosing something that's going to suit your business going forward. Now, there are a lot of options. Off the top of my head, there's Sage 1, or it's called Sage Accounting now. There's Xero. And there's also something called Wave, which is an easy one. I'm going to eliminate that now as a choice because it doesn't use bank feeds, and bank feeds is basically something that goes into your bank, pulls all your transactions, and then in the accounting system you just allocate it. That's a very useful feature in an accounting system, and something that I would basically only I would look for across the board. So yeah, because that's not involved straight away, I would never recommend that to a South African business. We left then with Sage Accounting and Xero. So let me go through some of the advantages and disadvantages of each. The advantages of Sage would be basically the price. It's going to work out to about half the price. Half the price of what Xero is at the moment. Sage Accounting for two users on a monthly subscription is 290 Rand. And it includes quite a lot of the stuff that you would need, pretty much everything. It doesn't have multi-currency, and it doesn't have time tracking or anything like that, but it's got pretty much everything you would need up into, say, probably like a 20 million Rand turnover business. Then you might need something extra. You might need to go to the next level on that. But basically it covers everything. I can't really, there's no features that are severely lacking in that. So price is a big one. Whereas Xero is about $29 at the moment. If you want multi-currency, I think it's $39. Let me just double check that. So at the moment, yes, it's $30, or the premium is the $40. There is a starter one which is $20, but that's just 20 invoices a month. It's not really going to get you any. If your business is at that level, then I would recommend it. But it's basically, we're going to be looking at the $30 a month. So that's the tricky part. That's 600 Rand. If you need multi-currency, that's 800 Rand a month. That's quite a lot of money for an accounting system, especially when the grind is real, getting the business off going, and now you have to spend that much on an accounting system. You probably have to appoint an accountant as well, and they're also going to charge you either for the system or extra. Anyway, it's costly, so that's something you have to think about carefully. But what I would say is, okay, so that's price-wise. Xero wins. Sage Accounting wins on that by far. It's almost half the price for the same sort of features. Then looking at everything else, VAT, Sage is better than Xero. It's a little bit easier to see everything. It's a little bit easier to submit your returns. It's a little bit more simplified, made out for you, because Sage is innately a South African company, or they have a bigger footprint, whereas Xero has only recently sort of entered the market. They still charge in dollars. It's not quite established in SA as much. Sage did Pastel, which has been around for like as far back as I can remember. Anyway, so if that's easier, then in terms of user friendliness, I think Xero is going to take it. It's very simple to operate. There are a couple of things that are a little bit tricky and I think could be improved upon, but in terms of starting out complete beginner, I would go for Xero. It is a very good system. There seems to be it's quite an intuitive design. They've sort of made it quite very friendly. Lots of green if it matches up and this and that. So they've used some colors and made it interesting. And they do things like rounding and this and that, which they take it away straight away. So those things aren't going to come back and catch up with you. And then so that's in terms of the main benefit of Sage would be that would be probably the price. In terms of the main benefit of Xero, that would be its integration abilities. So this is where Xero really takes the cake. It's very, very integrated. So as a young and up and coming entrepreneur like myself, I love that I can connect my accounting system to Google Sheets, and I can connect my accounting system to my e-commerce store, and I can connect my accounting system to whichever CRM I've got that's cloud-based. I can basically connect it. So they've set up all the APIs, they've set it all up. You can connect through things like Zapier. You can use, I think, if that, then that. There's Google Sheets plugins like Geocon, which is one, I think Google Sheets is plugin of the year or something like that. And it basically, you can pull any data from Xero into a spreadsheet, automatically refreshes every hour. You can put it back up into Xero through that same spreadsheet, and you can run live reports. So for instance, our e-commerce store, we track what payment processes they use, what different, if there's invoice matches up with the website, as into the accounting system. So there's lots of extra things that you can build into your system, which builds to your assurance. One really downside to Xero is they don't have good user access, whereas Xero you can have specifically, whereas Sage you can have specifically, you can allow person A to only see bank recon this. You can take away the bank balance if you don't want them to see that. You can let them just do quotes, you can let them just do invoices, you can let them just add suppliers, add customers. So that's a really nice feature, which I really don't understand why Xero hasn't got, because it's either seems like full access or basically quotes and invoices, which isn't really how most businesses work. You're going to have someone in payments, you're going to have someone in receipts, you're going to have someone in different departments, you're going to have someone just doing the bookkeeping, the taxes and administration and all of this. So that's leaning in the favor of Sage. There is one other reason to go for Xero, which is the fact that most of the small firms are basically only accepting clients if they are using Xero as their software, or they'll charge you a conversion fee, but they won't actually take on clients with non-cloud-based accounting and not Xero. So they build in their systems relating around this accounting system, and they expect you to be on that accounting system. There are some firms will take you on Sage, some firms will still take you on Pastel, but generally you can have, as a firm, you want to be able to remote into the books of the company that you're working with. You want to be able to just have a bird's eye view of everything. You want to be able to oversee. You want to just be looking at the overhead or reports. So if you're going to appoint an accountant, I've had a business on Sage Accounting, and I've struggled to get an accountant that will take that business on without doing a conversion. So that is a very, very important thing to note. And with that being said, here is my conclusion. As much as I hate to admit it, I think if you are in a business that's going to be generating even a marginal cash flow in a short amount of time, I would go for Xero. If you think you're going to get to money in 3 months, then I would go for Xero. If there's a smaller, like something like an investment club where it takes years and years before you even start looking at a profit, that's going to be something you could go with Sage Accounting. There's not that many transactions. It's much cheaper, and you can sort of get everything done through that. But overall, if you have a business in South Africa and you are able to make money from it in a short amount of time, even though it's $29 a month, which is a very, very large pill to swallow, I would 100% go for Xero. I think you're going to be setting yourself up for a good integratable software system. You're going to be setting yourself up for ease of transition between accountants that you appoint as a business owner. You're going to have access to systems. I know the financial statements, there's a common plugin that they use to make all the financial statements. That connects very well with Xero. So overall, besides the price, you're going to win with Xero. So guys, thanks so much for bearing with me on this video. I hope that it brought you a little bit of information and help to make that decision. And yeah, there's links below to each of the respective plugins. And yeah, if you have any questions or comments on the different accounting systems, put them below. And yeah, hopefully there can be a bit of a discussion there. We can tune or we can admire different features of different accounting systems. If you disagree with me, also you can put that below. So guys, thanks so much for watching, and I'll check you guys next week.